it is, Dwight, and in the process you see that they chase games on the road, which is never acceptable, at least not a steady diet of that.
Here's another chance, and they finally break through. The ball went into the box. Bill got deflected away and is finished.
Beltran is coming out, and a substitution now made for the coach, Jason Price, 36-year-old coach of Real Salt Lake, now in his second full campaign. Raphael Cox will come in. Well, next week, Seattle traveling to Toronto. Tough place to play. One of the toughest in the league, players will tell you. Here's Cox now with it. Cox running, being watched by Sturgis. Sends a ball across into the area. It's headed down by Scout.
Then they introduced Freddie Lundberg to the team, to the fans, and he brought the game up to another level and was able to help set up there the second goal and finish this game off. Experience.
Salaniasi got to start last week, came up with a sore hamstring this week in training, and presumably will be ready for the trip to Canada. Here's a drive.
And here comes Raphael Cox, getting ready to come in, subbing in for Tony Beltran.
And we'll probably see a little bit of a change. Cox will probably go to that left-hand side. Wingard will slide over to that right hand.
Borchers to Olave. Beckerman, one touch back to Will Johnson. Beckerman taken down, play on, advantage RSL. Here's Will Johnson. Johnson playing it wide. The cross inside the box, dangerous ball. Finley is there. A battle for it, it's out of bounds.
Lewis Creighton's running straight at Kevin Scott. He's not happy, but he really has no reason to even be arguing this. Robbie Finley doing a very good job. Keep an eye on Robbie Finley's eyes. Ball goes out wide. Raphael Cox making an instant impact. First time ball. Good whipped in. Top of the six. Creighton's coming up. When he gets isolated, you saw the closing down speed of Raphael Cox. This is a young player who's very, very explosive, very quick. Good starting position. Even with McTavish getting isolated, seemingly easy possession to keep. You got to think when he's getting his head up, looking to keep that possession, with Cox closing him down so fast, it's something he's going to have to keep an eye on.
Here's Cox now, wide to Will Johnson. Johnson for Mathis. Mathis, how about maybe taking a shot? It's near side to Wingard. Wingard, the cross. Ura is there. The header carried over the. No, it's still in.
And with this substitution, they're going to change. Francis Doe will go up top. He'll sit next to Luciano Emilio. Tommy Stone's putting a lot of face in the rookie Chris Pontius. Pontius is dropping back into Chris Gomez's role.
Here's Beckerman playing it to Movsisian. Can he beat the keeper?
When you look at Real Salt Lake, 3 changes from last week. Olave Morales returned from suspension, and Raphael Cox making his first MLS start.
This is Chris Wingert at left fullback tonight for Real Salt Lake. Cox making his first start of his rookie career. Big night tonight for the Real Salt Lake winger.
First start, third appearance for a player out of the University of Washington.
Difficult ball there for Beckerman. Sights a very big, about 6'4", and already a USA Youth International. Part of their Olympic team that led up to Beijing last summer. Winger for Beckerman, wearing the captain's armband tonight. He'll sit in front of that back four with Clint Mathis. He picks out Morales. It was difficult for the Argentinian, but he's done well. Very short passing game, very similar to what we see from Chivas. Mathis, and there you see Talley able to step in.
They're trying to make or capitalize on a mistake by Chivas USA.
Cox. And Shavar Thomas, didn't he do well coming across? Strength for strength, like for like, an advantage to the Chivas defender on that occasion.
Once again, the back line solid, quite well to bring it down with his chest and possess it, but then he tried to take the shot himself when he had Justin Braun moving on the right flank.
Cox is away for Real Salt Lake. Showing a lot of it. Cox with one man to beat, and Shavar Thomas is there. Morales bends one in, calls down here, and Beckerman is swing and a miss. It's on. Across from Cox, arriving is Johnson, and cleared out of the way.
Let's take a look, and you're going to see a physical tackle here. There we see how the last defender is taken down by Kyle Beckerman. Here you see Beckerman just taking down Jonathan Bornstein, freeing up Raphael Cox, and there.
This is Will Johnson. Real mobile and ubiquitous presence on the right-hand side. Winger leaves it down the line. And this one whipped in here. Talley doesn't deal with it. And Thornton opting to punch. Sits up well. This is Johnson to the far corner. More to danger, but Chivas nearly punished for not clearing their lines.
And that's one of those things that Zach's got to come away with that. And Sasha Kleshi's got to do a better job of defending, because it was a beautiful left-footed shot there. And it could have been extremely dangerous.
To Beckerman, Morales, very tidy. And the dreadlocked one wide. This is Raphael Cox on his full debut. Working on Trujillo. Cox in, Talley is there to head it away. A positive response here from RSL after the goal.
And we see Robbie Finley coming on for Raphael Cox, who did a good job on his first full Major League start.
As we see Raphael Cox getting set to check in for RSL. He will replace Chris Wingert.
6-yard box. Got to continue to put that pressure. Raphael Cox, very good young player, ton of speed, former University of Washington product. Look for him to continue to get up and down that line in the next 5 minutes.
Morales looking to bring it down. Yoromov Sessian, it goes through and in. RSL with the equalizer. Here's Cox. Morales ahead for Finley. Robbie Finley, can he beat Cannon? Finley cleared out.
We talked about the chances. They're continuing to come for Robbie Finley, using his pace to get behind the back line of San Jose. Another great opportunity. Cannon just beat in the slight second, but good recovery from Hernandez, knocking that ball out of bounds.
Cox back to Borchers. Now here's Cox. Raphael Cox. Mathis goes back to Borchers now.
The number 23 shirt of Raphael Cox at midfield, and he will be entering shortly in place of Finley. Meanwhile, down on the ground, slow to get back up, is Steven Lenhart. Finley makes his way to the bench, gets a quick word from his head coach.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Finley had been battling an ankle injury. Played last week against Club America, this Angle Cup, won by Real Salt Lake. That gave this team a much-needed boost of confidence after a July 3rd game in which they barely tied San Jose at home.
Good strike from Flint Mathis. Duncan out, and that's a great ball! You can't say Leonard didn't give it a yeoman's effort. Again, Russell cuts around Padula, who then slips. Space, though, filled by Duncan Outen. Flint Mathis above the D. Diagonal ball to the left side. It's a good pass. Wingert's in. Working against Haydick. Haydick in strong. Ball comes out. Served through the 6. And away by Gino Padula. That's a lot.
It is, Dwight, in the process. You see that they chase games on the road, which is never acceptable, at least not a steady diet of that.
Here's another chance, and they finally break through. The ball went into the box. Bill got deflected away and is finished.
And that lone goal so far by Raphael Cox, but this is a dangerous situation. Anytime a corner kick comes over or a dead ball.
Service. Back away, Gary after it. He's going to have to run this one alone. He can either continue towards the corner, slow down and wait for help. He continues on the dribble, and in the end, Salt Lake will get it back. 81st.